Okay, today's topic is think you make too much for financial aid? What high income families must know about full funding. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me live. I'm really glad you could make it. If you've been joining me live for the last few days, um, last week and this week. Thank you. If you're catching the replay, thank you as well. If you want to catch the replay or join the lives, please just go to the YouTube at College Fully Funded page on the lives or its own playlist, May 2026 lives. Again, I'm so glad you could be here. All right, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Dr. Faith Okpotor. I am the creator of a college admissions coaching program called CFF College Fully Funded. And in this program, we work with serious high school juniors or rising seniors whose families cannot pay for college out of pocket. We work with them to help them successfully apply and secure admission with full funding and avoid debt. We do this using our curriculum based, tried and tested CFF College Fully Funded framework. I have been working in higher education now for more than 15 years. And today, like I said earlier, the focus is going to be on whether or not college admission with full funding is possible for high income families, right? The answer is an emphatic yes. And we're going to talk about it, okay? And what high income families need to know. All right. If any questions come up for you while this is going on, please feel free to use the comments. If you're catching this on the replay, also put any questions you have in the comments, and I will do my best to come back and answer them. All right. So let's get started. Okay. So when it comes to this doubt or this questioning of whether or not it's even possible to secure admission with full funding, particularly for relatively high income families, there are several reasons why people even have this doubt or why this question is even raised. And this may apply to you. These are the reasons I've heard from families that I have talked to, that I talk to each week, and they may apply to you. So here goes. The first one, the first common one I've heard is that some people think that this is possibly too good to be true. There's no way that admission with full funding can happen, that somehow somebody or some institution is going to cover the gap between what your family can afford to pay and what the total cost of attendance is for college without debt involved. And there's no way that's going to happen. It just seems far-fetched, right? That's just going to be too hard to get done. So that's one reason. Another reason I've heard is that some people just don't even know that this is in the realm of possibilities. They have no idea that this is even a thing, right? That this is not even on the table. Okay. And then the third reason, common reason, is that some families earn well above the median household income in the United States. Many earn, more than six figures or even multiple six-figure households, right? Like two income households that each person earns at least six figures. And therefore, they believe that they cannot receive any financial aid. If this is you, or if this applies to your family, you might have even played around with the FAFSA calculator, and it shows that you're not going to receive any financial aid, right? If you've done that, that's probably the result that you got. So don't get me wrong. I get it. I get these reasons. I've talked to families who have these reasons and they're completely reasonable, right? Um, these are all valid concerns, and some of them might apply to you. But what I'm going to encourage you to have is a shift in perspective. I need you to shift your perspective just a little bit. All right, so let's take a look at these reasons one at a time. The first one is that if you think this is too good to be true, it is not. But you also need to know that it is not going to be easy either, right? It is simple once you have the necessary ingredients and follow our experts' guidance. As I have said, several times before when you follow our framework, right, and our expert guidance, right? If you do any of that, then it is simple, but it's not necessarily easy, right? It will require a lot of work. But if the end result is admission with full funding, then you know what? That's work that's doable. I know that you're not afraid of the hard work that is involved. Your family is not afraid of the hard work that is involved, right? Um, we'll be here with professional and personalized guidance every step of the way of that hard work. Okay. Now, the second one is that when it comes to those who have no idea that this is a thing, that it's not even in the realm of possibility, I can assure you that it is. Okay. There are lots and lots of colleges, even in these tough times for higher education. There are lots of colleges out there that will offer the right kinds of students college admission with full funding. So now you need to realize that they are out there, and therefore each prospective student seeking admission with full funding needs to go and find those colleges that are looking for the attributes that they possess, that the colleges will fully fund them, such that there's a fit like a lock and key. And that's when the magic happens. So lots of colleges that will offer the right kinds of student full funding. It is the student's job and their family's job to figure out what those colleges are, that these student fits the requirements that the colleges are looking for, so that it's a lock and key. And then this becomes really easy and really simple. Okay. The third one is that as the third category is those who earn well above the median household income, including households that have six-figure incomes or multiple six-figure incomes. Your shift in perspective needs to be that some of the colleges that we're talking about, some of these colleges that offer full financial aid or full funding, they have an expansive definition of wealth. I need you to hear that again. For those of you in relatively higher income categories with possibly multiple six-figure income households, your shift in perspective needs to be that these colleges, some of the colleges that will offer full funding, have an expansive definition of wealth. That means that you may not qualify for financial aid through FAFSA, but you will qualify for institutional aid at some of these schools. And for these schools, and they're usually the elite ones, right? They're difficult to get into. They have a holistic assessment. They will carry out a holistic assessment of your family's financial picture. But once they do that, many of them have an expansive definition of wealth, and you could very well qualify. These schools include the Ivy Leagues, but not just the Ivy Leagues, they're peer institutions, right? Many of these schools are private schools, they're peer institutions, and they usually offer need-based aid. Some of them also offer merit-based aid, right? So in the last couple of years, in my newsletter, I have written about several elite institutions that have expanded their financial aid bracket for who qualifies for aid and who qualifies for aid with zero family contributions. Again, that expansive definition of wealth I was talking about. So I will drop examples of links to some of the writing in the description. I will update the description so that you can see some of that. And so if you want to check it out, you can. So there are also schools who give significant amounts of merit aid, right? So if your child has the requisite or the student has the requisite qualifications, and they can then target those schools specifically in their applications, the ones that have merit aid, even if your family is high income. Okay, so that way you will not be responsible for the total cost of attendance. Okay, so this is absolutely available to you and your family. Whether you think your family earns too much or too little, or will never qualify, or you've never been in proximity of anyone for whom this is a reality and therefore it seems beyond reach, or you think that it will be too hard to do. any of those excuses that I first outlined at the beginning, whichever one applies to you, this is absolutely doable and absolutely available to you and your family. And we have had students that fall into all of those categories, right? The ones that materially earn a lot more money than FAFSA, that would give them FAFSA, that FAFSA would allot them any aid. The ones who don't think it's even in the realm of possibility. And then the ones who think that this is just too hard and undoable. We have had students fall into all of those categories, and we have had students even if when falling in those categories, receive admission with full funding at selective and non-selective colleges across the country, from the very big names that you've heard of to the ones that you've not heard of. And this includes both need-based aid and merit aid. So places like Harvard, Cornell, Princeton, Bryn Mawr, Agnes Scott, University of Miami, University of Rochester, Rochester Institute of Technology, University of Richmond, Lehigh, Hampshire College, Spelman College, University of Maryland College Park, and on and on and on. So it is absolutely possible. So if this is your dream and your goal, please reach out and we can start a conversation about how we can work together to help get you there. As long as you or your student or your child have the necessary ingredients, and then we'll add our expert guidance, we are confident that we can produce this outcome. And we are so confident in our process that we offer an ironclad guarantee. If you work with us, your child works with us, and they do not secure admission to at least one school on their list with funding, we will work with them for an additional year as a transfer applicant for free. And if you want examples of specific success stories, please feel free to just put possible in the comments, and I'll be happy to send those to you. Okay, thanks again for joining me live today. I hope you can join me again for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Wednesday, also at 5 p.m., I'm going to be focusing on the details of our program, the details of the college admissions of CFF College Fully Funded, and our upcoming deadline. All right, thanks again, and I will talk to you some more soon. Take care. Bye-bye.